Hello everyone, we are the strategic planners and we will be analyzing VOS and giving recommendations for sustained competitive advantage.
VOS is a premium artisanal water which was established in 1998.
It is sourced in Norway.
Its unique taste cannot be matched.
And they maintain their brand and prestige through their iconic bottle design.
Macro Porter's value chain examines the strengths and weaknesses of the value that is contributed at each stage of the production until it reaches final customers. The components of the value chain comprise of the primary activities and supporting activities. The primary activities involve transforming raw materials into finished goods or products. These comprise of inbound operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and service. The inbound logistics of VOS focus on the receipt, storage, and distribution of the bottled water. And because the plant is located at the source, VOS just focuses on transporting the bottle from the port to its plants. Outbound logistics of VOS involve moving product to the buyers. The finished product from the plant in Iceland has to be transported to the docks. Storing appropriately during transportation is important to maintain the quality of the bottled water before it is distributed to the wholesaler. Marketing and sales is how VOS promote itself and sell their products. VOS water is sold in luxury venues and it is promoted by brand ambassadors who establish relationship with clients. The supporting activities are the activities that involve and enhance primary activities. VOS main raw material, water, is exclusively available to VOS and the plant is located on the site. VOS has outsources logistics to DB Schenker. This company is responsible of transporting the empty bottles from the docks to the plant in Iceland. VOS has used technology to develop their bottle in such a way that it reduces its carbon footprint. VOS production is air-tight and thus prevent the pure water from having contact with the pollutant in the environment. VOS has also utilized technology in their marketing strategy by taking advantages of social media to raise brand awareness. I'm now handing over to my colleague who is going to be talking about VOS strengths and weaknesses.
From the value chain analysis we did, we found some of these strengths and weaknesses, and here are some of the strengths. VOS outsourced logistics to a logistics company called DB Schenker. The company is present in 150 countries, meaning that it will be easier for VOS to enter into these countries as new markets. DB Schenker operates via sea and also via air. VOS water is sourced from a source in Evelyn. Water is bottled at its purest state using an airtight technology that is exclusive to VOS. Customers believe that VOS has a distinctive taste to it. VOS also uses social media and word of mouth as their product promotion, which is cheaper compared to other traditional forms of promotion. And here are some of the weaknesses we found. The weaknesses we realized is that VOS heavily relies on their water source in Evelyn, which could be affected by rainfall changes due to global warming. they were unable to have a clear marketing strategy and effectively communicate how they will handle recycling and environmental issues in regards to recycling their plastic bottles. Voss was also unable to effectively inspire their staff on their strategy of growth. I will now talk about resources and capabilities. Resources are things that a firm owns, and capabilities is what the firm does with its resources. Voss has the following resources: the brand ambassadors who have tacit and explicit knowledge, the plant and machinery, and capabilities are production of water and human capital. Resources and capabilities make up competences, and their core competences are sourcing and marketing, and we'll analyze this using VRIO. The process of sourcing water adds value because it puts water into quantified amounts that are consumable and also delivering it to desirable locations. Brand ambassadors, with their tacit knowledge, are able to bring awareness to distributors and maintain relations with clients, therefore adding value. The process of sourcing water at Evelyn is rare because it is exclusive to Voss. The plant and machinery used to source water and technology to prevent pollutants is expensive. Therefore, it will be difficult for competitors to imitate. Brand ambassadors have support of the organization because they are provided with Voss branded items and also materials to help market their products. I will now hand over to my colleague who will talk about external analysis.
We use the PESTEL model to identify and understand how the external environment influences Voss as a business. As you may already know, the acronym stands for political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal. But in this case, we will only be focusing on economic, social, and environmental. Because Voss water is considered a premium price luxury product and generally targets consumers with high disposable incomes, their sales can remain sensitive to economic changes. According to the Telegraph, UK consumers bought 1.77 billion litres of plain water in 2017 as against 1.72 billion litres of fizzy drinks. This goes to say that sales of bottled water have exceeded as people become more health conscious. According to the BBC, on April 17, 2018, scientists have managed to develop a mutant enzyme that breaks down plastic bottles back to their original form 2 times faster than it used to. This development will impact the recycling of PET plastic bottles. Voss will be able to reduce costs by reusing old plastic bottles rather than incurring costs to produce new plastic. Voss's main resource is water in the aquifer, and this is affected by climate changes. Global warming changes may affect rainfall patterns and in turn affect Voss resource replenishment in the future. We use Porter's 5 forces to thoroughly examine and determine the competitive intensity and attractiveness of the industry. Voss operates in the bottled water industry that is quite large and intense. Therefore, in terms of competitive rivalry, any other brand of water is considered a competitor to Voss, and the examples are plentiful. Also, there is intense competition in terms of pricing because there are other bottled water brands providing the same product at similar prices. The barrier to entries into the bottled water industry are high because of high capital requirements, and therefore threat of new entrants is low. The bottled water industry has a wide variety of substitutes with a broad choice of alternative beverage options. Therefore, the threat of substitutes is high. Customers generally have high buying power because there is low switching cost associated with buying cheaper bottled water substitutes compared to VOS, as previously shown in the diagram before. Because of the variety of substitutes, they also have the choice of indulging in beverages other than water. Bargaining power of suppliers is high because they have a high dependency on the raw material, which is water. VOS has managed to remain competent because they have managed to outsource their logistics. Their logistics company has the technology to transport their raw material and finished goods in a highly efficient manner, and therefore, if they were to change suppliers, there would be extremely high costs associated with doing so. And now, I'll pass you on to my colleague who will assess the current strategic issues of VOS.
The current strategy of VOS will be analyzed by assessing if it's suitable, acceptable, and feasible. In evaluating the current challenges of VOS, it's important to consider their strategic position and its impact on their competencies, external environment, and the reaction of stakeholders. VOS's current strategy involves creating value for stakeholders by keeping their brand intact. They also want to grow their company and create value and profits for their stakeholders. Their basis of competitive strategy is by differentiation, that is having a wide range of bottled water. Their strategic direction is through product development, and the way by which they pursue the strategy is by being acquired. In assessing the suitability of VOS's strategy, it's important to consider the strengths, weaknesses, and their external markets. From our personal analysis, we identified some social issues regarding VOS's external markets, and we identified growth in the bottled industry and an increase in demand. We also identified from our external analysis that VOS's products are highly dependent on the booms and cycles of the economy. Their products are highly luxurious, and their range of products are targeted to customers with high disposable incomes. Such products are sensitive to economic cycles of booms and recessions, and so VOS would only excel in thriving markets. Although they have a presence in 49 countries, we realize that they have been unable to inspire their employees with their growth strategy, that is, entering the home retail markets with their PET bottles. We also identified from our analysis that there are high barriers in entering their industry, and financing for this industry is very capital intensive. However, they have been acquired by a bigger beverage company called Rainwood, and this gives them sources to new capital investments and economies of scale. In evaluating the suitability, we realized that VOS has a product that is sensitive to economic changes, and also their production in the industry is capital intensive. In assessing the acceptability, the expected performance of their strategy is evaluated using the returns, risks, and the stakeholder reactions. Using the cost benefits to assess acceptability, we realize that there are some apparent costs that will be incurred in realizing their strategy. Costs like research and development, commercial testing, and separate market strategies may become risks if they do not yield expected returns. The returns stakeholders or shareholders will attain can be assessed by considering the benefits that VOS will attain from the costs associated with their current strategy. The benefits of their economies of scale, revenue, and other sources of capital investment outweigh the costs. Those are the risks associated with their current strategy. In assessing the reactions of stakeholders, we realize that the brand ambassadors and employees have a high interest in the strategy of the company. Currently, VOS has been unable to inspire their employees with their new strategy of growth, that is, entering the home retail market with their PET bottles. Investors, however, have a high power and interest in the strategy of the company because they are concerned with receiving returns from their investment. VOS's current strategy does not guarantee returns in the future. Now, I will hand over to my colleague who will continue the strategic current analysis and suggest recommendations.
Resource deployment is one way to analyze if VOS has the required resources and capabilities to implement a strategy. The acquisition by Rain will give them access to wide resources like research and development and economies of scale, because since they own their own beverage companies like Red Bull and Vita Coco. However, for Voss to be competitive, they have to deal with the issues we identified from our strategic analysis, which were: 1, a reliance on one type of product which is sensitive to change in climate and economy. 2, they have been unable to inspire staff in their pursuit of strategy of differentiation. 3, Voss has also not been able to enter new markets, and this possesses a risk to their competitive advantage. We use the answers matrix to be able to recommend strategies for Voss. We believe that by diversification to the fitness industry that is building their own gyms and promoting their own water there, Voss will create new streams of revenue that is not reliant on the climate. Product development is already part of Voss's strategy. Investing in creating a new range of vitamin-infused athletic water is one way Voss can develop their products. By doing this, Voss will cushion itself by having a brand that is not sensitive to changes in the economy. It is in their strategy to maintain growth and add value to shareholders. To achieve this, they need to have a sustained competitive advantage over other companies. In order to do this, they must undertake a market development strategy by investing in research and development in the enzyme recently discovered that Voss would use to be able to reduce costs by reusing plastic that has been broken down. By doing this, it will allow Voss to inspire staff because of their PET bottles now becoming environmentally friendly and thus maintaining their reputation. By promoting their sparkling water in premium cocktail bars and restaurants, by making cocktails that will be able to penetrate their existing market, Voss can create cocktail recipes for customers to do it themselves at home using their sparkling water. This is because they have access to social media platforms and brand ambassadors. Voss can also afford to do this because they belong to a group of companies that enjoy increasing sales and also have access to research and development facilities. This is our report. We hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for listening.